welcome to the final episode in our first series of the Youth Show. Now today we're going to have a bit of an eclectic mix of different things, so bear with us. But first of all, we're going to go to our usual team talk with Debo.
Deba, volunteer. Bunha gosht. Swimming, cycling, anything fitness related. It has to be between Kaiser and Fassel, I think. It has to be between, I think, Asif or Zabs. It's a tough one as well. I think it's going to have to be Kaiser or Fassel again, to be honest. I think we need funding, we need more volunteers, and we're going to need more car park space. Nelson Mandela, through his struggles he went through when he was battling with Winnie Mandela. That's going to have to be Azza. Worst dressed. Tough one again. It's going to have to be Kaiser and Fassel. Tough one, Kaiser and Fassel. Has to be Asif. Very organised. Has to be Zabeer. As admin assistant, very poor. It's a tough one. Has to be Zabeer. Zabeer, definitely. Me and him a little rift lately, but we managed to get over it.
When you meet the person, you must give them really good eye contact. That's the first thing that you must do. When you then introduce yourself, make sure you explain to them your name. Hi, I'm Janae.
I'm Hamza.
And you have a good handshake. So when you have a handshake, it must be firm, and you must look that individual in the eye and say, "Hi, my name is Janae, and I work for Pioneer, or I've come here for an interview." And then you introduce a little bit about yourself. Have you guys had many interviews before?
No.
Okay.
Not really.
And did you know about the handshake and the eye contact? Do you guys know the dress code for an interview?
Smart casual, I'm guessing.
Smart. What does smart mean?
Shirt, baggy, shirt, trousers, smart shoes.
Okay, so if you were to define in a, if you like, a sentence, what would you say would be the dress code for an interview?
What you're wearing.
Oh, I like that. Okay, yeah. So preferably a dark suit, preferably a white or a blue shirt, and a subtle tie. They're the fundamentals that you should try and stick to. There's obviously other things that individuals do when they go to interviews, but an interviewer normally looks for these key things because they're non-invasive and they're problematic as well. So that's normally the dress code for men when they go for an interview. Okay, so tell me a little bit about yourself.
I'm 16. I study at Mammoth High School. I'm doing my A-levels currently.
Sorry, where do you study?
Mammoth High School.
Right.
I'm studying maths, economics and ICT right now.
Yep.
Plan to go into computing.
Okay, so then, where do you live?
Ilford.
Okay, you live in Ilford.
Yep.
Who do you live with?
My mum, my sister and my dad.
Okay. And how long have you lived in Ilford for?
6 years.
6 years. Okay. And you mentioned you're currently at Wanstead High School.
Yeah.
What are you studying there?
My A-levels.
Okay. When do you complete them?
I'm going into my second year in September and that'll be my final year.
Okay. And after qualifications, what do you want to do?
Software engineering or computer science.
Software engineering, right?
Yeah.
Why do you want to do that?
Because I've always had the interest to develop my own software and possibly develop my own operating system.
Okay. And how are you planning on completing this qualification?
I'm going to apply to hopefully Goldsmiths, University or Westminster because they provide the course that I want to do.
Yeah. Just from an observation perspective, what did you guys pick up from that?
He kept saying in it, and
Just he
Say
seemed
again,
to
sorry, you get.
saying in it and a bit of slang here and there.
Yes.
He kept split. And also just he didn't seem comfortable or like I don't know. He was a bit nervous. Yeah, you were hugging.
So what's his body language like?
It was really awkward. And it's just like he was close to that table.
Right. Okay. So first thing then, there was a bit of slang in the communication, which is a complete no-no when you have an interview. The body language was a little bit awkward, so he was a bit like this. So I was trying to mirror him and trying to get him to go like so. A good thing to do in an interview is just sit back a little bit and look at the person that's interviewing you, so you can actually see them. Yeah. Okay. You?
Looks good.
He looks scared. Wow.
He
Okay.
didn't have confidence, basically.
Right. Okay. What made you say that?
Because like he was talking in a low, like he was talking
Monotone.
Right. That's called a modulation
modulation
of his
low.
voice. Right. It was very
And
like this.
He wasn't like most people when they go interviews they talk loud and that.
Right.
But then sometimes you didn't understand what he was saying.
What about good things though? He did do some good things in the interview.
He didn't start.
He kept talking. Right. So he had an answer for most of the questions that I was asking. Okay, some of them were quite basic questions, but he had an answer. So I asked him certain questions. So I said if he failed in software engineering and then picked up, he said, well, look, I would look at finance. So he was overcoming what we call reservations that we may have about an individual. So that was good. When you go for an interview, take a copy of your CV. Always make sure you take a copy of your CV because the interviewer will ask you some questions relating to your CV. So it's good to have something tangible that you can refer to. And take a pen, obviously, so you can take notes, etc., and maybe a notepad. But always take a copy of your CV because that way you can make notes on your CV if you need and you can refer back to your CV. I think the key thing for me was when I started out recruitment, I just happened to land into it. But I think the reason why I want to give back to the individuals is that they're our future. They will help the businesses grow that they will actually eventually work in. And to take them off the streets, we must do something. So the objective is to try and ensure they've got enough skills to be able to find jobs firstly and then sustain a good future for themselves.
In terms of qualifications and stuff, obviously you mentioned the importance of qualifications. Do you feel that some of the children who may not have achieved the qualifications they wanted can still be successful in life?
Yeah, 100%. My personal experience of that is I have a degree in multimedia technology and design, so that's graphic animations, designing websites, etc. But I'm currently running my own recruitment company. So qualification does help. It gives you the ethos of working and ensuring that you've got the right time management and organisation skills. However, I have a number of individuals that work for me that don't have qualifications or have limited qualifications. It comes down to the type of individual that you are.
So Riz, you work for the ambulance service. Why do you think the Rhythm Community Centre is important to Newham?
Rhythm Community Centre is very important because while I work at the ambulance service, I get a brilliant opportunity to find out what the real cause of the stabbings, the gang fights, the lawlessness that goes on. And when I get a chance to sit with them in the back of the ambulance, they open up and it all comes down to boredom. They're bored, they don't have any activities, they don't have no incentives. So places like this takes a lot of stress off the whole of the servicing, and it really allows the young people to do what they want to do and not get involved in crime and drugs and end up being in prison. So it's really important.
So with the support that Rhythm Community Centre needs, why do you think that's beneficial?
Well, what it's going to do is going to allow local young children to come to these events, to get involved in activities which can use the energy and to make themselves better for the local community rather than being outside on the streets, getting involved in crime, affecting everyone else.
So here we are in the final challenge of the Jihad Challenge. The scores are level at 3-3, so winner takes all. This challenge is an arm wrestle challenge, but don't be fooled by joining size here. We've already seen his speed in boxing. It's time for him to show some strength. Final challenge, winner takes all. Let's begin. Come on! Come on! Come on! You guys ready? 3, wait. Oh, he's already sweating there. Both of them sweating. You ready? 3, 2, 1, begin! You can kind of concentrate there, mate. Keep going. Keep going. Come on.
Go, Janu, go, Janu, go, Janu. Go, Janu. Go. Allah.
We need to invest to keep our youth's feet firmly on the ground. Our young kids really need a beneficial playground. Just give £5 and you can do it easy from a text message right now. Text GIME 50 space £5 to 70070 or be the one and make the dream a reality.
Welcome back. In the next discussion, we're going to look at world affairs and find out a little bit about whether the youth are connected with what's going on around the world today.
Assalamu alaikum. Today's issue, topic that we're discussing is youth and world affairs. I've got two guests here. It's got Bilal and Qaysan. Thank you for turning up today, guys. And with regards to what's going on in the world today, Qaysan, if I could ask you, what's the most important thing in your view of what's going on in the world today?
I think providing aid to countries that need it,
Okay.
for instance Syria and etc. I think that's a very important topic. Also other countries that need aid, I think it's really important to do this and help other countries, seeing that we're from the West.
Yeah.
And when we have like good lives, we're in good positions, so we're in position to help people. So I believe that it's important to help others that are in not so good a position around the world.
And yourself, Bilal, same question to you.
The reason there is need for aid is because of the high use of conflict these days. Like going back to the Syria example, we've got the Arab Spring. There's a lot of conflict going on in the world, which is a big influence around the world.
Okay. And when you guys watch what's going on in the world, you know, you see the images on TV and you see what's going on. How does that make you feel yourself? For yourself, Bilal, how does that make you feel? And
just looking at it, it does upset you looking at some of the scenes coming from across the world. But I think when you actually look at it at the moment, you think there's nothing you can do, but that's wrong because there is a lot you can do to help out.
So just looking at what you do see on TV, do you think sometimes it's a bit too graphic? Do you think sometimes they shouldn't be showing as much as they do? Or do you think it's important to show everything and let people know about it?
I think it's important to show everything just so everyone knows exactly what's going on, no hiding anything.
Okay, and yourself, Qaysan?
Yeah, I think it's important not to sugarcoat it. I think if there's serious issues occurring around the world, I think it's important to let these issues be seen to the rest of the world. And it really frustrates me sometimes, and I feel really helpless that I can't help. But then I do reflect on it sometimes and think there is ways that I can help. I can raise awareness, even though I won't be directly involved in helping these people out in the country. I think it's important to, I think just raising awareness itself will be effective because other people, someone in a better position than me, may be able to contribute more and help them out more than I can.
Yeah, and similar question to you, Bilal, but with regards to what you actually feel that you could do, what is it something that you think you could do to help raise awareness or
the most important thing is to raise awareness because at the moment we can't directly go in and sort the problem out just like that. We can't. I think what you need to do is just raise awareness, get everyone understanding what exactly is going on because...
And I'm talking about from a youth perspective here, so I'm talking about what you guys at your age and other youths across the country can actually do. I think it's definitely possible. Like you can do fundraisers just to bring other people at the same age in our community together to raise awareness of the issues to people our age. So for instance, fun days, that would be a good way of doing it. Sponsored runs, sponsored cycles, those sort of things could really appeal to people my age. Have you guys actually done anything yourself, like for example what's going on in Syria or other world issues at the moment?
We've attended fun days or fundraisers, but we haven't done started something ourselves.
Okay. Well, would you guys think of maybe volunteering?
Yeah,
like, for example,
I
if
think
there
that's
was-
something we wanted to do.
Yeah.
Something like maybe some community work, a couple fundraisers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Looking at the current situation in the world today, and if I take the angle on what's going on in Syria and other Muslim countries, do you think Muslim countries do enough to help each other, to help other Muslim countries with regards to whether it's aid or, you know, other issues such as that?
It's a difficult one because in the world there's more to just religion. So the way they look at it is that they may be helping out a Muslim country, but they may look at it that they have no benefit in doing that. So the way they look at it, they have more cost in helping out. Even though it's a Muslim country, they have a bigger cost, say financial or just their relationship with other countries. So say if a Muslim country helps out but another country don't want it to help out, they'll lose out that relationship.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I think religion is a major factor, but there are other factors which countries take into consideration before actually
But
helping out.
specifically Muslim countries, you know, we're talking about specifically do Muslim countries do enough to help others? And I take the points that you've mentioned, and you know, I think they're valid points as well. And yourself, Kaysan, what's your thought on that?
I believe that there can be more that they can do, these Muslim countries, because if you see in the West, a lot of the Western countries help out their fellow Western countries.
Yeah.
So I believe that the Muslim communities across the world, worldwide, can come together more and help one another, because obviously there's a lot of countries that are suffering and that they need a lot of support. So I believe that as Muslims we can help one another.
Yeah, okay, no, that's a good thing. A question for you, Bilal, because I understand you study politics as well.
Economics and politics.
Economics and politics, okay. And just a question for yourself there as well is, what would you think would be better to give? Would it be better to give aid, or would it be better to give countries money in situations like that? Like, for example, like in Syria, what's going on there?
To me, that depends on the country itself and how developed it is and the situation going on in that country. For example, if you look at India at the moment with floods, then they would appreciate more aid at the moment because of the floods going on. But if you ask them before the floods or even after the floods, what would you prefer, aid or money? As they're developing, I think they'll prefer money.
Okay.
So it depends on the country and the situation as well.
Okay, and yourself, Kaysan, what do you think?
I agree. I think it really depends on the country, because like in New Orleans, when there was a natural disaster there, obviously they would have appreciated initial aid to help them, because obviously there was people without homes, without food, without clean water. So obviously in terms of natural disasters, short-term aid is needed, is essential. However, if you look at it in the long run and for their future, it's also important to provide money into their economy so that they can help redevelop as a whole in the long run. So that's why it's a tricky discussion between the two.
Both aspects do come in together. For example, we need aid and money, and it's a case of trying to merge both of those things together to make a better impact.
Yeah, just finding that balance.
Okay, well guys, thank you very much for your time as well. We're running out of time, but thank you for your time again. Assalamu alaikum. Today's topic is about youth and the challenges of work and education. I mean, talking of careers and so forth, so once you guys have done all your studying, what do you think is more important when you're looking for work? Education or experience? So for yourself, what would be more important? Do you think it's education or the experience when you're looking for work?
Personally, I think if you're beginning, it's all about experience. That's why a lot of firms, like if you're looking to apply, they normally say you need something around 2 years experience plus education as well.
Okay, and yourself?
I think it's a combination of both.
Right.
I think you need experience and the know-how and the education to do it. And
sorry, go on.
I think together, I think it's building your way up to the top. You can build your experience up and your education at the same time.
Okay, so would it be fair to say that currently, if you guys are just coming out of education with no experience of work, and having a good, strong educational background will benefit you in getting a better job? Would you think that's fair to say? Ali, what about yourself?
I think it's a combination of both as well, because like you can have everything you need educational wise, but if you don't know the basics of what you need to do at the job, then you're useless, you can't do anything. Whereas if you have too much experience, firms look for a lot of education based, like A-levels, degrees and that. if you have a lot of experience but you don't have any of that, then you're not even going to be considered in the first place. So I think you need like a rough combination of both things.
So with regards to the youth of today, I mean, if you were looking at some of our youth who might be watching and who might be young youth as well, probably leaving school and so forth, would you say it's best to try and continue education?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I think it's not only when you got education, it's experiences that you learn as well. It's the surroundings. You learn meet new people. You into social events, and it's more than education. You learn more. It's just going to university or sixth form. You learn new things and more people.
So with regards to life skills and so forth, I mean, if you guys were looking to get other additional skills, forget the education side of it now, how do you guys do anything extra to get life skills? For example, maybe improving communication skills, or get some sort of skills that you can have in addition to your education. Is there anything that you do yourself to try and improve your life skills?
Yeah, I try to do charity work.
Okay.
With my cousin.
Okay. And your cousin is?
Asif.
Okay, yeah, Asif, right, yes. I'm for the viewers at home, I'm well aware of who Asif is. But okay, so you do a lot of work with Asif as well?
Yeah.
Okay. And yourself?
I played a lot of football, and I was the captain of my school football team, and my last year I was the captain of my other football team. And as a captain, you have to kind of communicate with our peers. Sure. You have to, lead, and you have to kind of lead by example. And,
and what about you, Ali?
Charity work and just general work experience, because when you're working, you meet different people and you learn how to deal with them differently, and that just teaches you how to approach certain type of people. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, of course, no, I understand exactly what you're saying. Yeah, you basically want to try and have a bit more of a global thing around yourself, where you're not just stuck in the education side of it, but you're building other skills that help you get on with other people and different people. Yeah. So yeah, no, I understand what you mean there.
That's really important as well.
Okay, so with regards to the education side of it now, and you guys are going through this education process, you're going through your college now, and I presume obviously you've stated that you're going to go into university as well. What about the debt issue here now? Obviously the fees are very high here. It's like, I think about the moment it's 9,000 a year. Yeah. You do a 3-year course. My maths ain't great, but that's nearly £30,000 there. So what do you guys feel about that? Being in debt by the time you finish your education?
Well, one thing I heard is they take a certain percentage of your wages. That's I'm alright with that. It's not a full-on upfront fee.
Yeah, but so. I mean, with regards to being in debt, do you think that's something that would stop you from maybe going to university? Yeah. Would you think that's a huge debt to have on my head? I'd rather not go to university, or would you still go ahead knowing that you'd be in debt?
I would still go to university because, to be honest, everything in life that's worth it, well, you have to work hard for it.
Of course.
The debt is just one thing where, you're going to have a burden over your head, but then think of all the possibilities that come after you've graduated and everything.
That's right.
When you get a job, and it's not like the government straight away they're going to demand
of course.
the 30,000 back. It's a small percentage they take monthly.
Yeah. But the point is that you're happy to be in debt, meaning that you would get a good education behind you, and hopefully you'll be in a better, stronger working position because of your education. Okay, but thank you very much for your input today, mashallah. Jazakallah for turning up. As always, you've been good. And although always, guys, you've been a great audience as well. So, Assalamu alaikum from me.
So we've come to the end of our first series of the Youth Show. Thank you to all of those people that got involved. Thank you to the guests, but most of all, thank you to you at home for watching. We're now going to leave you with one last piece, but before we go, Salam alaikum.
Do I not matter?
We need somewhere to go.
Where would I be right now? What does my future hold? What if I was your child?